All right, guys, let's go. Welcome to another edition of Webinar Wednesday, tips to help grow your online community. It's really great to be with everyone here today. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. I am Jason there on the left, and we're lucky to be joined by David Rockland, the digital strategist, and so much more here at Brilliant Directories. David, thanks for taking the time to join us today.
Of course. Hey, everybody. Glad to be back with you all for another Webinar Wednesday.
And David, I know it's been new the last few weeks. Are we streaming on YouTube today as well simultaneously?
We are still streaming on YouTube today. So as most of you know, we typically end the webinars with a Q&A session. If you do have any questions, you can go ahead and type them in if you're on YouTube, and we'll try to get to as many as we can. If you did want to have your microphone unmuted to actually speak with us and ask us a question, then you'll want to register for these webinars on GoToWebinar. So we have that link pinned at the top of the YouTube live chat there for you if you'd want to go ahead and do that.
All right, awesome. I always like to mention, if you're not part of our Facebook group, it's free to join. You can head on over to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. It's a great way to keep in touch in between webinars Wednesdays. We also post announcements in there quite frequently in between our monthly newsletters. So if you aren't already a member, you can head on over to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. You can go ahead and do that now, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys there. And I always like to mention, especially for those joining us for the first time, I do see a lot of new names and faces out there. Webinar Wednesday is a great channel for us to not only share new features that are built into the Brilliant Directories platform week after week, but how to leverage those features to help your community grow faster, generate more revenue. Some of the topics below here are ones that we like to cover, how to convert visitors to members or subscribers, which is what we're going to be talking about today, actually. And one of my favorites is improving your website's navigation, creating that simple flow, logical flow for members and visitors to follow so you can get higher conversions on your site, no matter what action you're hoping people do on your website. So if you have questions on these topics or any questions at all about your Brilliant Directories websites, please save them. We'll do our best to get to as many questions as we can in just a few moments. All right, and just before the webinar, just 5 minutes before the webinar, I did post in the Facebook group that we do have a special gift for everyone joining in on the webinar, and actually everyone in the BD community. You can probably see them down there at the bottom of the list. The Community Comments add-on is now free and now available for everyone. You may need to go into your admin homepage, and there's a software installer link. I'll show you that in just a moment. You just click a few buttons. And there's also a new post type called discussions. So you can turn this into a questions and answers post type, and we will cover that in just a moment as well. Let's get to the top of this list first. There are just a small handful of updates that were noteworthy to share in this webinar. The first one is related to the grid view layout. And this is an add-on that allows your search results to be structured in a grid view. And now there is a new setting to have a structured layout or structured view for this. Let me explain what I'm referring to here. So in general, if you have the grid view add-on, you would have the option to list view, everyone has here, and grid view, it would put members in a grid view just like this. And up until now, as we can see, some members have longer names, some might have stars or no stars. And we can see that this is called masonry style. This is essentially how Pinterest stacks their content as well. And, you know, things just kind of get connected to each other based on the height of the previous object. So this is great. It's been like this for years, but there were requests in the Facebook group that, you know, they just want the option to have each row be equally level, no matter what's happening above each row. So now there is a setting for that, and I'd like to show you what that looks like and what it does. So here's another site we can see here. It's using the masonry design for the grid view layout. Let's adjust this to the new structured view. So we can head on over to our dashboard, and this is in design settings. And once you're in design settings, go to the search results pages module here, the first tab. And if you scroll down right now, this is the last option, grid view layout. So if you have the grid view add-on, you have the option to start your results in grid view, same with your posts. And here you can choose structured, and we'll see a side-by-side difference of what the structured view looks like. I'm personally I didn't realize it, but I'm actually a fan of the structured view now for the grid view layout. So let's just duplicate this tab here. Okay, great. And we can see that even though, for example, this guy's a little shorter, all the rows are starting on the same line here. So just gives a little bit better organization. Again, just depends on your personal taste and what you're using your site for, but this is now available for you. Once again, you can go to your design settings, search results pages, and go to grid view layout and choose the structured option if you'd like that. All right, another update, and this is with regards to the map view search results. Prior to this update, if you were on a mobile device, you just simply wouldn't see the toggle to see the results in a map view. It wasn't working, and now it is available on mobile if you have the map view search option. So let me show you what that looks like. We can actually go to our demo site here. So we see the different toggle views up here. And we see map view, it does work on the desktop. Prior to this update, if you were on a mobile device, I'll just toggle mobile here. These icons would go away, and it would just start in list view, because that's really all that there's enough room for was list view. But now we have map view working. So if you're on a mobile device and you have the map view toggle on your desktop, you should see it on your mobile device now as well. All right, this next one here, third on the list, save web pages with extensions, with file extensions. This is more for our developers out there, or sometimes a service like Google Search Console is asking you to add a TXT file to your site or some type of a page. Again, this is more for developers and designers, but you now have the ability to save your web pages with file extensions. So let me show you an example of how you may want to use this. Let's go to our content and go to the web page builder, and we'll create a new web page. And so let's say Google gives you something, or someone for site verification purposes, verified.txt. So now you can put this dot here. Before you could just add text here and dashes, but now you can actually add a dot, and it will save the page with that extension. What's even cooler is we do have a page type, and down here it says custom widget as web page. We've covered this in previous webinars, but when you do custom widget as web page, you would be able to then, you saw things changed here when I did that. You can actually select one of your custom widgets. There's no custom widgets on your site, and the web page, you can create the custom URL for it, will only load what's in the widget. So that's how you can have .css files or .php files or .javascript, .js extensions if you need it, and just create a custom widget and pop in the code that you want to render with this page and file extension here. So again, more for our developer crowd there, but now you have the ability to do that, and it should add a wealth of flexibility for some of those needs there. Okay, this is more of a quality of life. Just like you can clone web pages and clone your menus, you now have the ability to clone your custom forms. I'll quickly show you where that is. That's in your toolbox. And you go to the form manager, and under the actions dropdown, you'll now see the clone button that wasn't there previously, and now it's there. Also, pro tip, you can always copy the shortcode. So if you wanted to pop a form on a landing page, just click copy to clipboard, and I'll open up a little document here. And this is basically what it copied, form equals, and that's the exit survey form. So if you ever need to quickly copy the shortcode for your forms, you can do that, and also for menus as well, and widgets. All right, so those are the top 4 features and updates for the last 2 weeks. Now, we do have a new post type. It's called discussions. Essentially, we cloned the community articles or member articles post type, but we just gave it its own focus of discussions, which can be used for your site as like a questions and answers area, a bulletin board. Maybe you want to create FAQ section, whatever you want to use it for. By default, it's going to be called discussions. Now, let me show you a sample of this. So here it is on a sample site, just very, very plainly. So we can see discussions. You can, do things like welcome to our community, learn about discussions. And now that, and we'll get more into it, the community comments add-on is available on all sites. People can leave comments under discussions. So again, you can call discussions like questions and answers and encourage members to post questions and then respond with answers in the comments here. But let me show you where you can enable the new post type discussions on your site. And if you're not familiar with what a post type is, under content and edit post settings on your website, you have different channels of content you can publish, classifieds, coupons, blog articles. They're just kind of predefined types of content that make it easy to keep things organized. So to enable this, go to your dashboard to enable the discussions post type. And it's always good to do this once in a while. It's not too often, but right here you'll see install new updates. And it's good to check this every now and then when you log into your admin. And anytime you see something here, just go ahead and click install. It's basically updating your local database. It's not going to override any data that you have. These are pretty much all safe things that you can install on your site to get the latest database structures. So you'll see this here, install discussions post type. And also, if you didn't have the community comments add-on prior to today, you might have an installer to add the community comments tables to your database. So you can go ahead and install that. I'm actually going to install both of these on this site. And let's actually do a before and after before I click this blue button. Let's go back to my post types, edit post settings. We'll do a before and after I click that button. So we can see I don't have, these are custom ones that I created before, jewelry classifieds, car classifieds. But you can see here, it's not here, the discussions. Let's install that now. I'm actually doing this for the first time with you guys. Okay, it says that it's been installed. If we come back to edit post settings, we should see the discussions here, crossing my fingers. And there it is. So we have a new post type called discussions. Now that it's a post type, we have to add it to a membership level that would have the ability or privilege to publish discussions. In this case, I'd like to go to my membership plans, and I'd like to allow, let's say, the premium plan to post discussions. Probably you want all your members to post discussions if you're going to start using this. So under membership plans, select the membership plan and go to post publishing. And if you scroll down, these are all your post types essentially, and you'll see the discussions one here. I think just as a quick search, pro tip, you can use the filter here and search for discussions, and it'll just filter everything out. And I'm going to choose can post, and we'll save the changes. Okay, great. That should do it. Let's log in as a premium member and publish a discussion. All right, these are all my premium members. Let's log in here, and I should have a new post type, discussions, and I'll publish your first discussion. Again, you can call it questions and answers, bulletin board updates, whatever you can get creative with that makes sense for your industry or your focus of your website. So we'll say, why is the sky blue? And I'm wondering why the sky is blue. Can someone please tell me? Happy face. Well, now we have emojis you can enable, so let's do an emoji. All right, let's save the changes. And we can view the post. So here it is, and we can see comments are enabled on this site as well. And why is the sky blue? And we could talk about because the sun and sky, etc. So people can comment. He's commenting on his own. But now you have almost like a bulletin board discussion forum kind of situation here. So that is how you can enable the post type discussions on your site. Go to the software installer, see if there's anything to do there. Once it's installed on your site, go ahead and assign the discussions post type to the membership plans that should have the ability to post it. And just one last thing is showing you how you can change it from discussions to something else. I know this is basic for some, but some might not be aware of it. So when you're editing your post settings, you can edit the discussions, and we can call it questions and answers. And, you can do that. You can change the profile page tab to questions and answers, the search results title, and really that's all you would need to do. Let's save the changes. And another cool thing, in case you didn't know, in the general settings tab of a post type, you can change the URL. Currently, this is discussions. It just can't be a URL of another page on your site, but you could change this to something else that you need it to be. And you can also change the icon that members see in their member dashboard sidebar. So if you wanted to use another icon that you find here, you can certainly do that. So if we come back here, we'll see now it's called questions and answers, also in the sidebar here, questions and answers. And if we look at the post, same thing, why is the sky blue? And we see here in the title, questions and answers. So there we have it. Now, before we get into the tip of the week, let's see if you guys want to raise your hand if you have any questions about these updates that we just went over.
So we actually did have quite a few questions typed in as we were showing this new discussions post type. One of them, more so related to community comments, was do users need to be logged in order to reply to comments? Whether to post or to reply to comments, they would need to be logged in. And then Lisa was asking if users need to actually have a membership on your website in order to post a new discussion. They would need to have an account, whether it's a free account or a premium account. They would need to have one. So if you want to kind of make that feature available to your general users in addition to your members, then you could create a new membership plan for free that general users can sign up for. They can make an account and then still give those free users access to the discussions post type. So that would be a way to get around that.
Most of the BD sites come with what's called like a general user account. They're non-searchable, so they're not going to be found in like the business directory that people are searching, but you can give them some privileges, such as leaving a comment, bookmarking their favorites if you have the bookmark favorites, so they can save their posts and the members that they're following. They just need to register a free general user account. And then if you want, you could give them the ability to post a discussion. Of course, you can go to general users, post publishing, and just go ahead and give them the ability to, I called it questions and answers, so it's in alphabetical order here. Go ahead and give them the ability to can post questions and answers in this case, but discussions, then they'll have the ability to ask questions as well.
Exactly. And then another one for Lisa was whether or not the discussion board can be for internal use only, like only logged in members can view it. Yeah, that could be done with the private member content add-on, right, Jason?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you have the members only add-on, so if you have that members only add-on, what you can do, I think it's enabled on this site, I think. Yeah, it is. So when you have the members only add-on, you can actually protect this post type, and you can choose to protect the detail page or the search results page or both. And when you're, actually this is good to talk about it. So now this would be protected. Then you have to choose which membership levels can view this post type, questions and answers. So step 1 is protect it. Step 2, and let's go ahead and protect it actually in this example, save the changes. And then you can go ahead and let's say we want, you probably want a bunch of members, but you go to the membership plan who would have the privilege to view it and go to post publishing. And we can see here all of these are public for all, but the questions and answers is not public for all. So I'm going to explicitly select that this membership plan can view questions and answers post types. So this is a great way to have internal discussion boards just for your staff. And of course, you can clone post types. So you can have public discussions and internal discussions if you wanted to, and easily assign who can and can't view each post type, even if it's a cloned post type. All right, we have some hands up here. Our good friend Colette, you've got your hand up there. How are you, Colette?
Hi, Jason. I'm well. How are you?
Doing awesome, actually. Great that you can join the webinar today.
Good, thank you. I've got 2 questions about the new features, Jason. The one refers to the grid view layout.
Yes.
I might have brought this up before. Would it ever be possible to have different grid view or the table view for the different post types?
That can be done. Actually, we can put it in the search results setting. What we can do is use design settings rule or choose like the start in grid view, map, or list view per post type. We can get a setting like that for you, Colette.
That would be great. And then the other one is on the map view. I noticed that if you do look for map view, it only shows the posts that are on that page. So if I'm looking for all plumbers, but I've got 51 plumbers and my page only goes up to 20 or 30, it only shows those 20 or 30 when I look on map view.
So you could increase the number per page by default. Say there's 300 results, just as an example. On some sites, it is a little much to show on one map. But if you increase the results per search results page, maybe you want to increase it to something like 25 or something that will give somebody something more substantial than what you currently have. That would be the one default way to do that. Right now, what shows on the map is tied to kind of the page view that you're on. And we could brainstorm other ways, but for now, that would be the best way to get more results showing on the map at one time.
Perfect. Thanks, Jason.
You're welcome, and thank you for the suggestion there. All right, let's move on forward to the tip of the week. David's actually done a wonderful job with this tip of the week. We were powwowing a bit on what could be useful, and more people are using the subscribe to newsletter functionality that's built into the Brilliant Directories platform. So we thought we'd provide a simple and effective way to not only increase subscribers to your newsletter. Even if you don't send a newsletter, you can still gather email addresses for marketing purposes later, but how you can leverage this a bit more with a thank you page after people do subscribe to the newsletter, submitting the form to subscribe. So Dave, if it's okay with you, can I pass it over?
Yes, please. So like Jason said, newsletters are obviously a very useful part of any business or website. You can get a lot of extra value out of it. Your members can also get a lot of extra value. So we'll dive in just very briefly into why a newsletter is useful. But what we'll really be showing you is how to get even more out of a user after they register to sign up for your newsletter. Because by default, they can sign up for the newsletter, but if they're signing up for the newsletter, they're probably really interested in what you have to offer anyway. So that would be a great time to provide them with some additional calls to action to get a little bit more use out of them. So we'll dive into that as well. So first off, real quick, why you should have a newsletter. Some of the benefits. These are pretty universal. Some benefits will vary depending on your target demographic, what industry you're in. But some of the universal ones are that newsletters have been proven to increase sales. So Convince and Convert, they did a study not too long ago where they found that 44% of consumers make a purchase based on promotional emails. I think their study was 44% of consumers in the past year of when they conducted their study made a purchase based on the newsletters that they were signed up for. So, if you're offering some deals or promotions in your newsletters, that would be a good way to get some extra revenue out of your community. You could be offering maybe some additional features on the side or just flat out promotions for higher tier memberships, or maybe you're offering services or other products on your site that you could be promoting in your newsletter. Any of those would work. Another benefit is that it increases the perceived value of your membership. So when you're providing a free and informative and well-written newsletter, it really does provide a lot of additional value to your website as a whole, not just your membership plans. But this could be a good gateway into getting somebody to sign up for a membership. If they're already receiving some really great free information on your newsletter, then they may be more inclined to sign up for a premium membership if there's some extra benefit that they can get out of that. Another great benefit is that newsletters will help you connect with your members. So consumers, I think most of us would fall into this. Consumers do receive more newsletters than they do personal emails. So, emails to your friends or your family. Generally, we receive more commercial email than we do interactive personal emails. And that's because this was another study done by Return Path. They found one of the reasons is that consumers, regular people, they really do want to receive these commercial emails, these promotional emails, newsletters, because it's a convenient way to stay up to date with the brands and the companies and the websites that they're interested in. So generally speaking, consumers, they do want to receive information from you straight to their email inbox. Another benefit is that it will increase your website traffic. So Salesforce did a study where they found that 82% of consumers do open their emails that they receive from the newsletters that they're subscribed to. So if you're providing links in your newsletter to newly published content on your website, or maybe you're linking out to your social media pages, there's a good chance if on average 82% of people open that email, that another percentage of those people will click on whatever links you've included in your newsletter. And lastly, one other just general benefit of having a newsletter is that they do establish positive long-term relationships. It does that by showing members, and even the members who might still be subscribed to your newsletter but may have canceled their membership, it shows all of them how valuable they are and that they haven't been forgotten by you, and that you do still want to provide them with valuable information, even if they're no longer a member. So those are just some general benefits of having a newsletter and sending that regularly, both to your paying members and also just to your general free subscribers.
And David, we had another webinar where we talked about what types of ways to make it easy to put together a newsletter, right? Because the number one thing is what the heck am I going to talk about in my newsletter? Didn't we do a webinar on that?
We did, and I did pull that up. So I've got the link here. I'll share it in the live chat on YouTube and also the chat here on GoToWebinar. I believe it was 10 tips to develop a successful newsletter, increase open rates, and how to easily write emails.
Oh, yeah. This was a great webinar. This was a great tip of the week that we did. It's really easy to digest and actionable steps on creating a newsletter. All right. So we know why newsletters are important and awesome, and you don't need to send them all the time. Once a month is plenty for most websites and brands. So Dave, tell us about what we're going to cover more in today's, now that we know that newsletters are awesome.
Yeah, so the primary focus of this tip of the week is how can we get even more use out of somebody once they do sign up for our newsletter, because they're already showing some interest in our website by wanting to hear more from us and allowing us to contact them via email directly. So there's a good chance that we might be able to get them to take some more actions on our website. So once they put in their email address to sign up for the newsletter, we can automatically then direct them to a thank you page. And just generally speaking, a thank you page, it shows our gratitude for them wanting us to send them even more information and for inviting us into their personal inbox. None of us want spam in there. So when they trust us with their email address, that's a good sign. They want more information. There's already some level of trust there. But while they're on this thank you page, it's a great opportunity to try to get them to take some additional action. So this will depend on what your goals are for your website and for your members, what specific tasks you want them to take on your website, or what end goal you want them to have. But some things you can do on this thank you page are encourage them to follow you on social media. If you have a Facebook group, you could link to that, or just to your Facebook page, Twitter page, Instagram account, all that sort of stuff. You can highlight the benefits of joining your community. So if they're signing up for your newsletter, there's probably a good chance they're not a member yet. So on this page, you might want to list just a few bullet points. You don't want to bombard them. You don't want to give them a whole sales speech, but just highlight some of the primary benefits that they could be receiving if they did sign up and became a member of your community. You could also link to any informative articles, videos, or any other sort of posts that you've published on your site. This will have one benefit in terms of SEO, where they'll go to some additional pages on your site and they won't just immediately leave. But also it could show them immediately that you do have other informative information, useful information that they might want to be made aware of right now, since they're already interested in getting more information from you. You could also link to a page or other area on your website that they might find useful. So this would depend on that target demographic, whatever niche you're in, the target industry. But say, for example, you have a local business directory or a local city guide website, and you get somebody who's registered to receive your newsletter. then there's a good chance maybe they're not a business, but maybe there's somebody who lives in the area, or maybe there's somebody who visits the local city that your website targets regularly. So maybe they just want to be kept up to date with whatever's going on in that area. Maybe you want to direct them to the events page on your website. Maybe there's some new local events that are coming up that they may be interested in. And then lastly, another suggestion would be to provide just a testimonial of a happy member on this page, just something to, again, reinforce that there truly are other people on your website, existing members and users, who are getting a lot of use and value out of your website. And it just reinforces that aspect of social proof, which we've talked about in a few other webinars.
And actually, David, I didn't even realize it. We do this on the Brilliant Directories website, but rather than the newsletters, when someone requests to try the demo, let's actually do that together right now. If you try a demo, jason@jason.com, and this could be like, subscribe to a newsletter. We have a link to our Facebook group here. If they didn't get the demo, we kind of have the form here. Just sometimes they mistype their email address or whatnot. And then here it says you may also be interested in, and we have links to some of our helpful content, some previous webinars that we did, setting up a private tour if you wanted a one-on-one demo.
That would be another thing you could offer actually on your thank you page for just a membership community, is if somebody is interested in signing up for a membership, maybe they want to book a call with you or send you an email to inquire some more about what benefits they may be receiving. And then that could open up a great dialogue with you to maybe give you a better shot at closing a sale.
Absolutely. So it's really customer's choice here. We want to keep people clicking. We want to keep people engaged. Every website is different. Every offering is different. So finding two or three or a handful of things just to keep people clicking is important. And then here we do have thank you page here from our good friend Eric. So we do have a testimonial here as well. So yeah, we are actually employing some of these strategies that we're recommending here. So let's figure out how to do this on a site, right, David? We wanted to show this as an example.
Definitely, absolutely. Show it in practice.
Okay. So let's close down some of these windows here and start with a blank canvas. I think it's here. Okay. So on this site, we created a landing page. We've done lots of videos on using the drag and drop builder to set up a landing page. This one's very simple. We're putting a title here, want to know about everything, or obviously put something related to your industry. We definitely want people to subscribe for a reason. So the more benefits we can build in, or what they can expect, or what are the reasons they should subscribe, short-term and long-term benefits, you want to put them on a page like this. And then we can see we have the newsletter form here that comes with all sites. We've put it here as well. And then again, we just put some benefits here, get all these benefits, and so on. So let's go to the admin area and see what we've built. So we're in the web page builder, and we've made two pages, and I'll show you them. We made a newsletter page here and a newsletter confirmation page, which is what we're going to define as the redirect page when someone fills out the newsletter form. Let's take a look at this newsletter page and see what we've done. Okay. We did use the draggable content blocks here on the right, and we kind of just made a two-column area here. It says join our newsletter. Here's the short code for the newsletter form. I'll actually paste this in the chat for everyone. That's really the main thing you need, is the form equals newsletter modal sign up. And then we are using the hero section. So we have an image up there. This is always fun to play with. We've also covered the hero section. That's the area at the top of the page here. Creates that nice top section there. And then the page content, just two columns, put some titles, some benefits, and then the form equals newsletter there, and that's what's rendering on the site. And then we created a thank you page. And the thank you page is pretty simple. It says, thanks for joining our newsletter. You'll get great updates from us soon. We put a link to the Brilliant Directories Facebook group here. And also, we didn't choose anything specific, but we used the draggable content blocks, the 3 features here, and more things to do on our site. You can certainly choose what you want and link them to kind of what we did on our own Brilliant Directories pages, have some additional things for them to follow and click on. So we have the page to subscribe and then the page that they're directed to. So now the question is, how do we make it so when they fill out the newsletter form, they're going to be redirected to this new custom page we created? This is called a newsletter confirmation. Well, it's quite simple. So the form is newsletter modal signup. And what we want to do is edit this form, and we want to choose the page they're going to be redirected to after filling out this form. So we'll go to Toolbox and Form Manager. And there's a keyword search filter here. You can just filter for newsletter modal signup. And once you're here, you can just go ahead and customize this form. Now, in order to customize a form, you technically need to make a change. So I'm just going to add the letter MMM here in the top hidden field, and I'll delete that later. So I will go ahead and save that. And we'll save everything else the same for now. Okay, great. Here is my newly customized newsletter form. I'm going to go ahead and edit this, and we're going to set up the redirect page. I'll delete those M's out of there. So what we want to do to set up the redirect page, and this is pretty good. It's good to know for forms in general because people are making lots of forms for different landing pages, for ebooks and things like that. You want to know how to redirect people to a page after they fill out the form. So click on Edit Form Settings, and we just need to do two things. Go to Save Actions, and Save Actions Redirect to URL. And then all we need to do is put the redirect URL right here in this field. So in our case, we're going to be sending people to the newsletter confirmation page. We're editing the form, save actions, redirect to URL, and then put the redirect to URL right here. And we can go ahead and save the changes. And we're done, basically. Let's go back here and just check it out. Yep. Delete that MMM. Okay, so let's try this again. Let's refresh this page, and we should be redirected. Put my name again, Jason. I'll click on subscribe now. And there we go. Now I'm sent to the thank you page. And again, thank you pages could have any number of things on them. Animated GIFs of Ryan Reynolds saying thank you, thank you, thank you, whatever it might be. Keep it funny, keep it serious, keep it professional. But now with this, we are utilizing the newsletter process more because the default newsletter just puts a pop-up that says, thanks, you've subscribed to our newsletter, and then they can stay on the same page, which is fine. You can keep the default functionality, but by redirecting them to this page, we've even seen, on our Brilliant Directory site and other directory sites out there that have thank you pages with additional calls to action. Again, you're getting that more engagement. You can get people when they're very interested in your site, give them better materials, better resources, asking them to contact you, requesting a private tour or something one-on-one. You can certainly do that stuff. So just so you know, I like to repeat it, just all you need to do is this is the form you want to put, the short code for the form on your landing page. And when we edit this form, newsletter modal signup, what are we doing? We're setting the form settings to redirect URL, and then we have to create a thank you page, and then we want to link to that thank you page in the form settings. So a little higher level there, but it's good to know that these things are possible with the software. And what we'd like to do now is take some questions. How's it going, Brian? Brian, I've unmuted your microphone.
Pretty good. Can you hear me?
Yes. Where are you calling in from?
I'm in Arizona.
All right, all right. And what's your question for us today?
It kind of ties in with what you were just talking about with the newsletter and everything.
Okay.
Before you guys said you can add different things, you can get a first name, last name, phone number, email address, etc. Right?
Right.
So when you add that kind of stuff on there, and then you go to look at your contacts in there in the back end of the site, and it only registers the first name and the email address. It doesn't save any of the other data.
I'm glad you mentioned that. What's going to be happening in an update coming in the next couple weeks is the newsletter submissions are going to be saved in your forms inbox, just like your contact us form submissions are going to be saved. When that is here, you can then export all the additional details that you've added for your contacts here, and each piece of data will be in its own column on that Excel file.
Yeah, because what I was essentially trying to do was basically try to convert those people into like members, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was trying to figure out the best way to do that. I have like 19,000 like subscription people that join my newsletter. So I was like, I exported all of those and created free accounts for them. And I was going to try to see about like trying to like kind of email them out and say, hey, you can just jump in your free account or something like that.
That's a really good idea. Another thing you can do, Brian, is import them to like a membership level. I think they may have recommended this to you, and then create a smart list from them. So you can like search for your general users or whatever you want to call them, and then create a smart list. And you can call this like imported newsletter subscribers from, XYZ platform. And once it's a smart list, you can send newsletters to specific smart lists segmented, which have segmented members in them. So that might be another avenue to not only group those people on your site, but then you can email them specifically as a smart list by targeting the smart list in your newsletter campaign.
Yeah, I already exported all the data and imported it in, and I made like I cloned the general user one, and then basically named it general user import or whatever, right? And then from there, I imported all my members in. I just imported them to that, and then I was just only trying to find a way how I could reach out to them, which seems like what you just showed me would be a great way to start that. So.
Yeah. And we are looking to create more functionality around the forms inbox area. So you can also create smart lists from the people who are in the forms inbox and things like that. So those are things that are coming down the line some in the coming weeks and more in the coming months.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for the questions, Brian. All right. Our really good friend Vincent has joined us. How you doing, Vincent?
Hey, good. How are you guys?
Pretty good. Pretty good. What can we help you with today?
Well, I got a little problem where one of my sites, for some reason, gets all kinds of spam accounts. And I know on one of the prior things you talked about putting certain things as a requirement for them to be able to create an account. But I don't want to make it so hard that the people that want to sign up,
we're actually putting 2 additional security. There's so many things on that sign up page. There's like the Google, I'm not a robot. We actually have a few other things in place. We're actually in the next few weeks are going to be adding 2 more security elements to sign up pages just to make sure that they're fortified. I would wait on that, Vincent.
Okay, great.
I will mention it in the webinar when it's available. But do you want to check out your site and see, just make sure you have some of the existing things that are available there to prevent spam?
Yeah, the site that has the problem is pestcontroldeals.com.
All right, give me a second here. And let's just take a quick look at it, make sure you have the things that need to be there. So now this is to your free account, your free signups?
Yeah, the problem is on the free signups. I mean, I am getting some regular pest control places signing up, which I want, but for every real one, I get 10 or 20 bad ones. Like here, you see them right here. This is probably from today.
Right. I see. Okay. Well, let's check out your free sign-up form here. Are you using the default form here? Well, it looks like this is a custom form here. Am I wrong or right about that?
No, I don't have any custom forms.
Oh, okay. The Google
that I know of. I hope I don't. I don't think I do.
Let's check it out. We could do the show widgets here. Yeah, it looks like your member free sign up form. It doesn't have the Google security here.
Oops.
Yeah, you may want to just can we just disable it? We don't have to delete your work, so you don't just disable it.
That's fine.
Yeah, like on the default form, there's like things like honeypots and just all sorts of things to help minimize, what you're seeing here. So let's see what that's going to do. All right, we can get rid of the show widgets. It's really cool, the show widgets. Okay, so now you got the sign
there
up
you go. Here. That's because none of the other sites have this problem. It's just this particular site somehow.
Okay. Yeah, keep it like this for now. I mean, it has all the required fields. It has I'm not a robot and some other things that are hidden in here. So keep it like this and see how it goes. But we are also adding a few more things to help lock down these pages even better.
So one other thing about your program where you can call up and somebody can walk through different problems you're having with the website. I know that you have the marketplace, but don't you guys have like an internal program where you can talk to somebody for half an hour or an hour?
Yeah. So first of all, you can email in about anything. You're very familiar with that, Vincent.
Right.
But if you wanted like a private phone training, yeah, there's like a 30-minute and a 1-hour phone training. But this is like after you've gone as far as you can and support emails, you just really want to talk to someone. Maybe you want to have your whole team. A lot of people do staff calls on these training calls and have 2 or 3 people on the line asking questions for new people who are managing the BD site. So that's where this becomes more high value. But yeah, this is certainly available if and when anyone needs it as well. They ask you beforehand, like what you want to cover so they can be ready for the phone call as well.
Yes. They, in the past, I've used it and I gave them a list of things I wanted to talk about, and then they were kind of ready for it when I.
Right. That'll help maximize the time on the call with them. So yeah, feel free to take advantage of that if you like. All right, Olga, we've unmuted your microphone. Olga.
Yeah. Hi.
All right. How are you doing today?
Hi. How are you?
Good.
What I wanted to find out. How is it possible to put a contact form on a web page in a framed way, like the way it shows in a sidebar? Do I need to put it as a widget in a div section or something to be framed, not just
to be framed on a web page?
Yeah. So
I can show you kind of what you can do.
Because just to make it in style with everything else I have on the website.
Yeah, you can. Well, you're a coder also, right? So I can give you 2 ways. So in this case, we just gave we made the table and we gave a background color to the cell. Mm-hmm. That's one thing you can do. And if you wanted to get into the code, what you could do is I'll give it to you. What's on all those content boxes on your site? It's a module class. So you could. Yeah. You could just do that in the code, div class module and the form equals, and it will put it here. I'll just save the changes here since we're doing, this is a test page. And you'll see here, obviously you want to put it, it will put it in this module box, and then you could put this module box in a cell if you wanted to.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
And sorry, the last thing I think.
Oh, yes.
That's very quick. You added the possibility to have some icons on the web pages, but there are so few of them, and I'm always struggling to find the currency ones. And say I have created my own email signature. Basically, I made it on a web page and just copied and pasted it to the email, and it works fine. But there are so few icons. So say I need to put a cell phone, a landline, or something, and there is no choice. So
the icons here are HTML-friendly icons, which means they'll load on all browsers. So we did keep it as a limited list. If this is going to be in an email, tools like Font Awesome won't work because they require the Font Awesome scripts to work on a website, and those are not going to happen in an email.
Okay.
If what you might want to Google though, HTML entities, I believe that's it, and you can use, any of these are all web safe ones, but there's so many it didn't make sense. But Google HTML entities, and then you can use those you can just copy and paste the symbol into your email signature or wherever else it is. Alternatively, you can find images as icons and use the images.
No, email, it was just an example because
okay.
Say for web pages, what I need to do is just go somewhere, copy the symbol, and then go back and.
Correct. So let's just show you an example. If I wanted the yen, if I have a Japanese audience, I could go ahead and just paste that here. And,
yeah, that's what I keep doing.
And make it large. Yeah, just there are hundreds and hundreds of symbols. So the list here is limited based on probably what most people are going to be using on their landing pages, rather than stuffing it with every single thing that's out there. Even all these are symbols, so it didn't make sense. Okay. All right.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Olga. Always good questions from Olga there. All right, let's see. We got time for one more question here from Manish. Manish, your mic is muted. How are you?
Yeah, hi, I'm good. Thank you for the session. I'm very new to this, to the business directories. I'm in my trial mode right now. So just want to know, like the kind of idea which I have is I'll have a community specific business group directory where people will be posting their services, and then the customers or the clients can come and take the services. Along with that, I'm also planning to add matrimonial stuff over there, so where people who are looking for grooms or brides, they can post. So I'm confused, like what kind of theme I should go for, because I see there's one community theme and then there is all in one theme. So I'm confused between both of those. So could you suggest something on that lines, please?
Yeah, basically the themes are like a pre-made homepage. So in your case, I mean, it's just a pre-made homepage is what the theme effectively is. Because all BD sites come with the same default features and post types and all that stuff. So in your case, you may want the city guide theme. We can go to our demo site real quick. And you said again, what is the focus on the site? You said it's to find business professionals?
Yes, and matrimonials.
So what I like about the city guide theme, it's pretty boilerplate, but you can highlight special categories like things to do. You can change to weddings or matrimonials, as you're calling it. So you can link to specific categories or post types on your site in the menu. But I would recommend the city guide theme. And of course, you can change like local city guide to, what the title of your website is, But this is pretty simple, easy to find. It's, you're just filtering 2 categories to start, top level and sub level. And I think this would be a good place to start for you, the city guide theme.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I'll look into that. All
right. Look forward to seeing your site online. All right, guys. Great webinar today. We had a great turnout. Next webinar will be in 2 weeks. Lots of lab updates. Everyone has the discussions post type now. Just go to your software installer on the homepage of your admin area. And also the community condiments add-on is now available for all. If you haven't already done so, take a moment to join our Facebook group. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. And on behalf of myself, David, and the entire Brilliant Directories family, thank you for an amazing webinar. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a great day and a brilliant week. Take care, guys.